Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Strike, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Westwall. Between the rest, we got here Insane Spanky fighting for America, freedom and democracy for the 1st Armored Division, tasked with clearing up this section of the wall held by, in the east, Gentlefox, fighting for Germany, Deutschland and the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division, plugging out a gap here left by a division retreating until a replacement division can take up positions. We got defensive doctrine here chosen for him, with machine guns and infantry versus Spanky's airborne, armor and heavy cavalry, with weapon rack, infantry and bazooka bulletins there for Spanky with a double rifle start here. Gentlefox going for grenadiers and MG42s. Pioneers spearheading ahead there. Spanky, very interesting enough though, going for a northern push here. Normally, I mean, a western player would sort of hit for the fuel here first, but he seems to be aiming sort of towards here, trying to disrupt Gentlefox's early game. And Gentlefox seems to be going southwards and then sort of trying to secure some territory there. So this is going to be a rather unusual startup here for sort of a west wall play, if you will. Definitely not your usual capping order there, which certainly stands out. So, but of course, also just the choice of defensive doctrine. Not really a common doctrine. Again, Gentlefox does seem to have been certainly increasingly working on more defensive strategies that would walls around trenches. So, for them, you know, this is probably just sort of another push there towards experimenting. Just overall, I think, expanding sort of the overall sort of strategic realm of company of heroes, and that way, you know, paving the way, pioneering new strategies for other players to follow. We got triple rifle there for Spanky. Soon enough, more going to do something for Gentlefox. Going to do something southwards there. Give frei to Jürgen and his men move ahead. So Jürgen, there we going. Vorwärts. Okay. Point there secured. Going points as well. Wide off the entrance. We've got the Jason ring in there with the M1 carbines. Firing up there at the Pioneers. Fun fact, there were a few versions of the carbine throughout the late stage of the war, including one with an infrared sight there that uses a sniper rifle, and there's also a version that's actually fully automatic, basically being an assault rifle. And neither of them really saw a lot of uses though on the western front there, but a few did, very few did. And you force remaining there, not trying to deal with a threat here, so we got a bit of a stand-up between two houses here, threatening the calf point, but not quite moving men in. In fact, he's just ignoring when he's just push over there, grab it, and then push southwards. So instead, he's reacting to what Gentlefox is doing in the south here, perhaps a missed opportunity by Spanky here versus Gentlefox, most gentle of foxes. Pioneers with him support up here with the Reasons here, carbines continue to sort of plink away. Take that, you Krauts. Pew pew. Stop saying pew pew, Carl. I'll slap you again. Pioneers being hit, spawning team forward. They've got the suppressive fire, pushing the Pioneers back. Actually, negative cover there could actually allow them to be suppressed, but there you go. Got the big suppressors there, the MG42. Rather than hitting the point here, cutting off munitions, we got Gentlefox counterattacking, which is going to need problem is, though, it's actually a pretty bad spot to counterattack from because there's all negative cover here, and there's heavy cover there. Going to this thing up in the larger house here, boarding house, whatever you call it, series of apartments. Opening up the rifle here, getting a kill there. Jack tumbles down here through a gap in the floor and impales himself on a toaster iron. How that works though, I don't know. Mortar out here for Spanky, retrieve 3 rifle into a mortar, that way banning some support zone that can hard for Gentlefox to fight from these more defensive positions. Pioneer standing about here, MG42 remains in the northern house. And southern point being scored by a rifle squad. Rifle there falling back there, ultimately not quite able to fight here. There is a bit of light cover. The problem is the trench here provides better, heavier cover for the Grenadiers, plus fighting at range is not where the rifle fully excel. That is really where the Grenadiers do well. But of course, up close, the rifle very much have the advantage where they can actually pretty much outdo the Grenadiers in DPS by, well, about 100%. If not more, actually. That's a little fun fact there. We've got Pioneers supposed to go. No more volley fire here, but in this case, though, with the Pioneers better up close, plus a minesweeper here. The Pioneers can quickly. We've got the Reasons here doing a lot of damage with MP40s. And there you go, that's also going to force his Spanky to have to retreat his mortar as well. Centerwards here, rifle there, engaging the Grenadiers. And we've got an ambulance away there for Spanky to heal the wounds of his men. But cannot heal their souls. So double Grenadiers are occupying the centre with their Car 90Ks, ready to shoot down anyone that looks a bit too funny at them. Take up down there for Gentlefox, the Pioneers a bit more occupied elsewhere, they go retreating. Pushing further ahead here for the house and the calf point, cutting off Spanky's access to the fuel. He does, there we go, rather than taking losses, looking a bit rough, they're looking a bit rough down to 2 men, but they will be able to hold off against 7 German Grenadiers. I think the answer to that is going to be no, and there go down to 1 man, rifle grenade goes through as well. Rifleman scouring right and calf point there, cut off, leaving Spanky in a bit of awkward position, but he's setting up for a fresh counterattack. Also noting he's using his ambulance a bit more aggressively here, and following up the lieutenant, meaning there's going to be potentially 50 calibers, a half-tech, or the M20 versus Gentlefox. Immediately there, forced to vacate the premises as mortar fire there pretty much renders it unsuitable for further defensive fighting. The Gentlefox actually just needs to retreat those guns. He's slow on health and down to 2 men. The sneeze there could pretty much take them out. And then the South Rifle flank about the Grenadiers here, heading in aggressively, though lacking any grenades to the Rifle gun. There we go, Rifle grenade immediately here from Gentlefox. Straight at the Rifle, and there we go, quick retreat here. Spanky does not waste a moment there. Mortar arriving here for Gentlefox, probably to counter Spanky's mortar, of course, bottom with his own artillery support here. Rifleman setting attack there with their own mortar and support as well, of course. Noting, of course, that Spanky has yet to go for the doctrine. But then again, Gentlefox is very much a type player. Just again, he chooses one doctrine and he just plays it out there. And he chooses right away, which gives Gentlefox a bit of a different focus compared to other players. Again, other players just still about that. Gentlefox knows what he wants to do, and that gives, I think, Gentlefox very much a greater strength in the strength of having an actual strategy. And again, not just playing too reactively, which is again what some players end up doing. You know, there's no sort of specific direct plan. Gentlefox, they're going for a half-track, the 251. Possibly some they picked up somewhere else, since most Panzer Gunner divisions will not have access to half-tracks. They'd have to rely on trucks, cars, or bicycles, which certainly was increasingly common by 1944-45. Entire bicycles were mounted in Panzer Grenadier battalions. Little fun fact there. Pioneers was against the Rifle, and their mortars were nearby. 251, they're good to go. Grenadiers nearby could be dropped into it, and then of course there we go. He's going to load them on and then form a mechanized group there that can quickly counterattack armies, send them scurrying back to America. Up north, field upon them being secured as Gentlefox actually fall into rather defensive posture, which allows Spanky to gain control of most of the map, which is definitely a bit dangerous with Gentlefox. Spanky yet to go anything further there. No 50 calibers, no M20s, no anti-aircraft half-tracks. No choices made there for Spanky and the Americans. Gunner's been light machine, they're rushing the half-track, and a quick retreat to gets out of there, so it can't do much damage there. We got Rifleman heading the centre victory point, and we got the anti-aircraft half-track on the way there for Spanky. They got Rifleman holding up against the attack gun support here with the 251 half-track, machine guns blasting away. Possibly a Rifle grenade or 2 here against them as well, but so far none there. Rifleman taking losses, they simply cannot compete with so much superior firepower. You're standing about there, anti-aircraft half-track halfway done. No trenches so far from Gentlefox. Certainly no tank traps though. Rather than hitting the southern point, we got Grenadiers, Pioneers being dispatched to deal with that. No Panzer Guns either here for Gentlefox. I mean, he could definitely benefit. The Panzer Guns, I mean, they work pretty well with half-tracks, I find. They work pretty well. But there you go, anti-aircraft half-track almost done for Spanky. That, of course, means Gentlefox going to have to go out for a lot of 2-2, so a pack 40 to have a chance versus this monstrosity. As for those wondering, why half-tracks? You know, why not just trucks or fully tracked vehicles? Well, the thing is, half-tracks are easier to drive, but of course have more benefits than just trucks that is off-road. Thusly, back then in the period around World War II, they sort of went for half-tracks because, again, they could sort of get into the benefits of tracked vehicles, but not having to require special driver training. If you drive a truck, you could drive a half-track. That was probably one of the benefits. I imagine also they were sort of cheaper to the extent, but yeah, that was basically sort of it. Just easy to, again, just get personnel for, compared to a fully tracked vehicle, which requires special training. And again, still had the benefit of being better off-terrain than just wheel trucks. That tends to be sort of it. Fuel there being secured. Point. You can see Gentlefox going very aggressively, gets spreading out. They want so much back, but that means it's also vulnerable to contact from Spanky. And there you go, mortar here being hit by the anti-aircraft half-track. It's machine guns and third of the anti-aircraft gun just tearing into them. Back here, conditional way, and there we go. We got the Pack 40 with the pants up. They can only field sick, which was a bit novel amongst other, 75mm anti-tank guns by, well, having a lighter gun shield, which is actually not one big slab of metal, but 2 thinner sheets, which allowed you to sort of reasonably well defect shots, but doing so much lighter. Track there opening up in the trench. Yeah, you can do it. It's a dirt and hole in the ground. We can destroy it for America. Yeah, we're heroes. But Sarge, it's just dirt. Shut up, Carl, or I'll slap you. Again. Rather than attacking into the Grenadiers force in the way, there we got BARs up here for insane Spanky. No grenades, but certainly the BARs would have an impact. Half to get supporting Grenadiers. Grenadiers in the northern field point trying to recapture it for Germany. And there you go. Large retreat here. A lot of firepower being directed. And there you go. Pioneers with the reasons. I mean, with half-tech support, mortar support, and the lieutenant moving up as well here. So Spanky launching several attacks here across the wider front. And there he goes, smoking the position, machine gun. Very good. Completely nullified Gentlefox's defense here at the time being, because it means the rest of his forces are quite exposed to any infantry attacks. And he's pulling in a big one. So very nice work there by Spanky there. Very nice work. Good. Executed assault. 2 thumbs up for 1 thumbs up. Actually, 2 thumbs up. Another MG42 the Gentlefox to help contain all the infantry that Spanky is throwing at him here, the 1st Armoured Division. Now the smoke's going against the 2nd. Oh, the MG42 sets up another position, crawling ahead. And we can see Gentlefox immediately pulls back because he's worried he's going to get rushed with a grenade or anything else. A very sensible fear there by Gentlefox. Now he's actually been pushed all the way back to his base here by the Spanky using the power of smoke. So really good work there by Spanky over smoke streams there versus Gentlefox. Fuel point being harassed, victory point being secured. Half-tech pioneers here doing... Oh, almost got a flamethrower there, the Flamen of Alpha. Burning away its armies. Troops getting ready to move ahead. Southern point there being secured. Overall, Spanky is more or less guarding almost the entire map here versus Gentlefox. He's moving at the pioneers, but they're not being healed up. They're actually very low in health. They're going to have to get cross negative terrain as they get close at the lieutenant there. And we can see they're being absolutely shredding. He pops into the half-tech. Ah, lost. Oh, he almost lost the entire unit there. So into the half-tech there. Other half-tech being pushed back by the Pack 40 machine guns. He's blasting with. That's 2 MG42s firing at the lieutenant here. Lieutenant quickly falling back. There's the half-tech getting closer there, trying to cut off the retreat of the lieutenant. Doing some extra damage there. Pretty rough fun here around the entrance to Gentlefox's base. There's Spanky here. By the way, he's floating a lot of resources. That's definitely a mistake. I mean, again, he's got most of the map here. He should be expecting to primarily fight in the defense now, unless he can start pull off a base assault. So what he should be doing is going for doctrine that could maybe, just go for some buildings to them to hold terrain, or go for some caches. But, finding positions, mines, maybe. And all should caches, try and set up for the next big element. Rush ahead for armor, but so far, Spanky's not really doing any of that. He's just flooding a lot of resources. I mean, again, he's clearly being successful, but he doesn't know what to do with that success, it seems. Again, he doesn't know what to do when he's essentially all he can do is, until, he gets up some armor, defend. And in that regard, finding positions here, maybe some other place they could do a lot to slow down the advance of Gentlefox, further just giving Spanky a longer term edge, or just do anything else with his resources, calling another mortar. Machine guns. Paratroopers. I mean, there's a lot here that Spanky could be doing versus Gentlefox, but he isn't doing it. Another smoke screen there, that's nice work to see. I do think that's a bit of strategic error there by Spanky, which again Gentlefox could try and, take advantage of by just pushing ahead here, while again utilising his resources then more aggressively, efficiently than Spanky. I believe he's also taking up there, yes indeed. Gonna lose versus half track there. And he's almost got 1,000 manpower floating about there again. That could be, several caches or fighting positions for Spanky versus Gentlefox. I mean, that is not good there. We can see Gentlefox is slowly making his way back there. Half-track being fixed up there. MG42 is bowling grenadiers. See if we got the grenade off against them as well. So he has researched grenades, by the way, really just increasing the offensive firepower of his rifle, making them, a much more lethal tactical element here in the south here, rather than trying to flank in, but stop an MG42 in the house, and of course the half-track joining in for a bit of good German fun. Take up down there for Gentlefox and the 3rd Panzer Grenadier Division. Spanky though keeps up the pressure, but again is not preparing for anything further down the road. Again, there's a bit of lack of field foresight there from Spanky. We got a 2nd Pack 40 for Gentlefox. Obviously, again, he's quite aware that Spanky's got a huge resource lead over him, so he has to go for the 2nd Pack 40 to have a chance, versus any armoured movements Spanky might make. Back here, though, there is no sign of tech up for him again. He could easily be going for a major now if he wanted to. He could also build a fuel cache at the same time. Smoke's going off against here. Might try and rush the MG42 again. There we go. We got the tech, I believe. We do have the major there being now summoned forth. And the battalion command post open up for business. We can also see there's at least some force. I think it's actually getting bazookas to deal with any armor and such that might be come out there from Gentlefox. Grenadier sending out. Pack 40 number 2 running there for Gentlefox and the 3rd Panzer Grenadier Division. Lieutenant hanging about here behind the wreckage of an old Sherman tank. And M42 back up in the northern house while the other one here is moving up a bit closer. Not much further there from there. Gentlefox, no trenches either. I mean, you could set up a trench to help defend the northern areas. Rather being strange than before too, but you could see smoke in here. There you go. Fires a smoke rifle grenade there against the MG42, and we can see Gentlefox's response is pretty rapid. Falls back in the face of such naked American aggression. In the south, half-track there patrolling, and Sapomaco going up for Gentlefox. So I mean, again, Spanky really just had a lead there against Gentlefox. He could have this up soon, at least they're ready, but again, instead he ends up, you know, being pretty close to Gentlefox, also having his up. He's going to be able to get up the tank faster, but so far he's not building it. Of course, he's still going to have a lead there with Gentlefox. But there you go, trench being built here by Gentlefox, good. First trench finished. He built another one first, but that was stopped. And there goes smoke screen on the trench. Not bad there. Need to fall back maybe. Up north here, rifles being forwards again. Again, no real defences there. It's very much naked, barren territory. No machine gun bunkers, no trenches, no nothing there for sort of Gentlefox to stick onto and, you know, repel the American attacker with. Trench there quickly collapsed, but they still seem to slow down Spanky there a bit. Rifle pushed back over the half-track now. Veteran T2. Gunny's trying to flank down. I think he's trying to threaten the mortar there of Spanky, thus really being pressured here. So that's the, I think, tactically sound move there, but Gentlefox a bit risky. And does push it back a bit, but ultimately nothing huge. I think you should pull back the Grenadiers or the half-track a bit closer to each other, so that way you can sort of reinforce the Grenadiers. But pretty rough here. It's down to 300 points versus Spanky's almost got 500 still. Sherman on the way there for Spanky again. Rather late. You could have that at least a minute or two sooner versus Gentlefox. I mean, you can do better than that, Spanky. You can do better than that. Again, he seems to be a bit of a victim of his own success there. Sniper for Gentlefox. Again, he's under a lot of pressure, so a sniper here I think would also quite nicely bleed out Spanky and make it hard for him to just maintain this aggressive posture without any sort of, you know, deeper supporting elements. Pack 40 MD42 half-track advancing here. Sherman halfway down there for Spanky and the 1st Armored Division. Pack 40 shoots and gets a good hit there against the M15A1. Also, fun fact, the lightness of the gun shield actually meant that the Pack 40 was the only gun of its class or size there. That could actually be moved around by infantry reasonably easily. I mean, it was still, you know, something you prefer tractor for something else, but you didn't exactly need it either. I mean, you did that for pretty much any of the other guns. So a little fun fact there. Troops in reinforcing. We got here the Sherman out, the M4A3. Pentiment machine on the way being added, the 50 caliber. I think they would have stuck with a 30 caliber down the top actually, I might be wrong there. Then again, they could have used both, I suppose. So now moving ahead, Pack 40 there. Pioneers, Grenadiers and Mortar on the way there. No Panzer Grenadier for Gentlefox. Now we're sneaking ahead there. No further trenches either. Bit of harassment in the south. Luti's trying to push back. North side, Grenadier 74-2. Sherman slowly moving ahead here. Switching over to high close rounds to blast up some krauts. He's not expecting any armor, and obviously that makes sense. He's just going to move in. He's going to just hurt them badly, though. He's going to need some support really for the Sherman. There you go. Rifleman re-echelon arrived to support the tank. Good work. In the south, they're engaging the Lieutenant. Grenades off. Mortar fire supporting the Grenadier. And there you go. Fresh trench here for Gentlefox. Dig harder, Kurt. Dig harder. I know this sucks, but you know, you might get shot less. Sniper fire there. 2 kills. Haven't grabbed the centre victory point. 242 versus 482. Bit risky. There we go. Sherman hit grenades taking losses. But M42 that does stall a bit here in St. Spanky's assault. You can of course use the Sherman to smoke it out there. Just fire directly at it. Lay down the smoke screen here, and we got smoke on the centre instead though from the mortar, but there doesn't really seem to be much of an assault forthcoming here from Spanky. We got a smoke screen here, but not where the machine gun is, preventing the infantry supporting this German anyways. So seems like a slightly more awkward assault. There we go, grenade on the Grenadiers, and oh, they get out in the nick of time. They're pretty close there. In the south, we also got a half-track pushing through here. Spanky launching a large assault here, trying to also go for some deeper flanks against him. Panzerfaust and the anti-aircraft half-track assault going through here. Do any mines here from Gentlefox actually? Nope. Going straight for the machine gun. The Pioneers here pulsing away from there. Pack 40 getting hit. In fact, we've got 2 Pack 40s already. Need to pull back the Sherman. Need to pull back the Sherman. Schnell, Spanky, before the Pack 40 set apart. There you go. Both packs ready to fight. Oh, he's going to lose the Sherman here. Too slow. Got the MG42, but this Sherman went down. Big loss here. Trench almost collapsed with the Grenadiers inside of it. Panzer IV now for Gentlefox, and he's now going to actually have the armor lead over Spanky. Again, Spanky would actually have another Sherman out here. So in that regard, Spanky needs to work a bit of his armor tactics again. He needs to utilize his resources more efficiently. I mean, at this point, he could have fuel caches here, and probably had a lot more Shermans out faster versus his opponent. Again, there's not really much reason for Spanky to flirt as much, again, except if he's not sure what he wants to do. And just doesn't know what to do with it. Again, in which case, finding positions catches. Now he's going for a lot of riflemen there. Could also, go for airborne paratroops, go for heavy cavalry and rangers. Smokes in there to help protect. Got the CoH one at least here versus Gentlefox. Half track halfway to veteran to 3. Haha. And there you go, we got the Panzerkampfwagen here for arriving for Gentlefox, and then from a nearby Panzerdivision. It is like valuable Panzerunterstützung for the Grenadiere. And there we go, we got Rangers as well for Spanky. So it's actually going for 5 infantry build all of a sudden again. 4 cancels one of them by looks. No, 4 riflemen still. Plus the Rangers, a lieutenant. I mean, that's going to be a lot of infantry that way. Tackle Gentlefox's troops. As long as he does so in a sensible manner. I was going to attack into entrenched positions head on. Of course, he might encounter some issues. Though so far it seems like Gentlefox has not dug any fresh trenches. In the south, the half-track standing about, and he's pushing forwards here. No upgrades for them. And he's, holy moly, we're actually going to see hull down here as well. Hull down for a Panzer IV. My God. Funny thing, he's doing it right next to this small ridge, and generally what you'd actually do is actually just sort of position in such a manner you can only see the turret across the ridge. That way, the rest of the tank will be protected, and the turret will come under fire, be presenting overall a much smaller target. And if you took a hit, it's not going to usually result in just an explosion of the entire tank. Mostly. Rifle grenade there. Major wiped. Major loss for Spanky. On this person, like Rifle Lieutenant. Panzer IV applying fire support. I mean, sort of here see the problem with the current positioning of the Panzer IV. It's basically positioned in such a manner that the ridge itself is actually an obstacle. In that regard, actual tanks, shoot actual projectiles, meaning they can't be caught up by the terrain. It's also why the system of the flak barrier for the Optimus has such many troubles, because its shots get caught up in practically anything. And that's basically the issue here with the Panzer IV to an extent. So you should actually place it more here or here, so that way it wouldn't be shooting, up towards it. It should be shooting down from the ridge in most range direction, in which case it'd be a lot more dangerous. Rifle there, Panzer IV shoots again, and not really getting any hits here. Got a hit there, then the rifleman snaps some poor bastard. Hang on, Cat wants to get in all of a sudden. Been out for most of the day. Gonna move on there, finish the trench, but under fire here from Spanky's mortar. Learson's moving up as well. And there you go, pushing forward. Needs to be careful around the Panzer IV again. The Panzer IV hold down has a lot of bonuses. High rate of fire, high range, high accuracy, takes less damage of course. On the other hand, it's a big fat target. So, I mean, in theory, Spanky can counter in a lot of ways. Got a reaction squad right there. Range is the next target for the Panzer IV. Already with 4 kills here. Missed again, hit the ridge. Half track something about there. Range seeing hits with the machine guns, the main gun, mortar getting grenaded, rifle pushing further up there. Smoking the Panzer IV, I think there. Yes, indeed. Clever move. Clever move, preventing from firing there, actually. Now, I've only had other elements to fill up to support here with. Grenade on the MD-42 as well. Moving about here to attack round. That could be a bit of trouble here. But again, he's spending a lot of resources. I think Spanky's not aiming for the Pershing tank, which will certainly also work out. Grabbing the northern point here. Five kills in the Panzer IV so far for Germany. Gunners moving through here and up north. We got rifle being pinned down by the infiltrator behind the vectors of the Sherman. Rifle moving there to grab the northern victory point, grab the centre one again, trying to bleed out Gentlefox as fast as humanly possible. Definitely not a bad strategy there for Spanky. Again, he should have used his resources a lot more efficient. I mean, he's just got a bunch of infantry out there, but he's also lost some elements there. And he is now moments away from the Pershing heavy tank to that way challenge Gentlefox and the 3rd Panzer Grenadiers. Mortar there close to veteran D3. Ooh, almost got the sniper. That could have been a loss there for Gentlefox. And there you go, M26 Pershing on the way there for Spanky and the 1st Armour Division. Pack for the free going for Gentlefox. That's definitely going to make life very, very tough for any Pershing heavy tanks for that matter, or any armour that gets within its arc of fire. Nope, by the way, this is the early model pack for the fleet when they didn't actually have the carriage, what did you call it, sort of ready. It was supposed to have. It was actually supposed to have a more cruciform mount, a bit like the Flak 88 there. Instead, they didn't have those ready for it, so it had to make do with a howitzer mount. Actually, little fun fact there. The South Gun is fine versus Rifle. Their Rifle's only getting torn to stretch there. 7 kills in that Panzer IV, closing in on Veterans 1 already. We can also see more trenches being dug here again. Note actually to cover up the flank here as well to protect himself from more larger assaults. It's basically all we're creating a very tough nut of position here that's going to require a lot of planning for Spanky to deal with. A lot of smoke, and then he needs to sort of deal with the different elements sort of isolated. Probably also an artillery strike, because that pack for the future is going to be huge issue. There goes, shoots, misses, but I do believe that Satan Spanky is dealing with a pack 43 and thusly needs to be very, very, very careful. Few upon them secure, but this takes hits there from the sniper, hanging out close to the trench here. Minor losses there from mortar fire. MG42 moving ahead. Could go for another Panzer IV here. Stug, Ostwind. I also think it should be at least a bit more active with this Panzer IV. I mean, it's just, it's doing some damage. So obviously, could be doing a lot more damage at field with it versus Spanky here. So, in that regard, it's an extent collecting dust. But still, he is using hold down with it at least. So it's not complete, diddling about. Healing there for the Grenadiers at the front line, so he doesn't have to retreat them to get them healed up there. Gute Arbeit, Leute. Capturing the northern elements there. Not a lot of action going on the south. It seems like Gentlefox is just more concerned with this part of the map here. And again, going to try and break Spanky across his front line. So of course with Spanky, you should probably try to just aim around it. I actually try to hit the base, trying to attack from a really unexpected angle. Like for example, move through here, then get behind with a big assault, capturing a lot of the elements off guard there, and dealing with the weaker ones first, and isolating the trenches and the Panzer IV that way a bit more. That could be an idea there for Spanky to consider, but if he really wants to attack head on, he needs to smoke out some of the more important elements and then deal with the rest, and then finish off the bigger elements. Pershing northwards, more breaking through in the south. We've got range coming in straight into an MG42. They should lead to no ways except to the grave there. Particularly because the result of the trench Grenadiers are planning further fire support. And the Panzer IV John in with a few extra shots as well there for the fatherland. Pershing striking in the north here. Got a Pack 40 hiding out by the tank traps there. Known as Dragon's Teeth, I believe. Pack 40 is shooting at the Pershing tank, shot bounce, Tillerman going down. He's clearly worried about an assault through there. And we can all see that Gentlefox is doing a lot of other players don't do when they go in the defensive. He's actually doing a lot of work to prepare his positions at a time again. Trenches, packs, mines. He could also lay down some barbed wire to make it hard for his opponent to attack them. And overall, this is some pretty good stuff to see there from Gentlefox. In Spanky going for another major, which clearly indicates he actually wants to use his abilities. There'll probably be some artillery use, maybe even some air recons there from Spanky, but nice to see that as well. Nice to see that as well.
There's a major reporting for action.
Being the southern point there. Now the trench being dug there by Gentlefox. Rangers moving ahead. Grenadiers still finding ways, sniper supporting. Pioneers popping into the trench as well, defending the field point there, or the victory point Panzer IV continues to just blast away there from its position. Still think he could position it overall better right now. Again, around here would have a much better positioning situation there for him. Spanky being awfully passive with his armour here. Then again, he might be waiting for the major to do something for him. It's hard to say exactly what Spanky's thinking or planning. He's still got most of the maps. He obviously isn't in a super rush to crush Gentlefox, but at the same time, we can't just allow Gentlefox to just sit in the mass firepower either too easily. Take up there. He's pretty much got full pop cap, so taking up here is not a bad idea. Using his excess resource, then be able to heavy panzer corps and then setting up for armour. Not sure he called in the smoke. That might have been misclick and he lost a rifle. Again, it was a deep flank, but not properly supported with no real exit tactic there, allowing them to get wiped there because, again, the density of Gentlefox's position makes it really difficult just to break through. I mean, in that sense, there's a lot of depth in defense here. Or defense in depth. Which again makes it a lot harder just to break through. Again, the trenches, the panzers, the pack 43, the mortar, all that makes it a lot harder just to quickly destroy it with a single attack. He's going for a Scott now. A bit or two that would not be a bad idea for Spanky, though of course more Shams would also think would be a good idea. If utilised correctly. Fighting for the south, their half-track Grenadiers, make them moving in there. Ooh, almost got wiped in the Grenadiers. Oh dear, Gentlefox might lose the Grenadiers. Down to low health, no, they get away, Oh, really lucky there, really lucky for Gentlefox. He didn't suffer a wipe. They probably should have, to be honest, though. Major moving up there. I think the Major's going to try and make the call in here. And really cheap one as well. There's 60 munitions to try and take out the back 43. There you go, calling it in. Quickly shooting the Major. Love to see this works out for Spanky though. There we go, direct hit kills the crew. Kills the crew on the spot. Wipes the pack 43 entirely. That was definitely 60 munitions worth. If not more for Spanky. Big loss there for Gentlefox. He lost his pack 43. That's probably one of his bigger backbones in the defences here. Alongside the hull down Panzer IV.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Overall, Spanky's are just slowly trying to strangle him. They're going to also hit the fresh points in northern points against us now. Again, Gentlefox is contracting everything on the centre in expectation of a big assault. So this would be a great time then for Spanky to just hit the northern points. Harting repaired. Pershing also need. No, it's actually the Pershing repaired by the vehicle crew. Mortar by disc. Decrewed. He tried to get that back. He really needs it for the smoke here. He was going to attack Gentlefox in the. I don't know. We'll just call it the Gentlefox of the Fox line here. Because otherwise it's going to take a lot of incoming fire. Pack 40 moving in, and we got combined arms. Lovely. And again, need to smoke some elements here. I think he would smoke the Pack 40s, he would smoke the Panzer IV. Just charging ahead, he's supported with Pershing again, just all in assault. Scott also rushing in. Oh dear. Rangers are clearing out some of the supporting elements. Need to clear out the Pack 40s. We got no smoke here though. No smoke. Pershing going into these 8-rap rounds. Machine gun wiped here. Lost for Gentlefox from continuing in here. Scott rolling over behind here. Half-tech blasting away. Pack 40s hammering away. Rangers almost wiped there, but almost got them as well. Panzer IV taking a lot of damage. Casualties piling up left and right here. No 8-rep round. Panzer IV gains 22. Oh dear. Artillery called in here by the Major on the support position. Probably down a bit sooner than that, but Cat, I think, is Gentlefox woke up. But again, there's so much going on. The half-track down. Scott down. Pershing made out of their light, but he's already got a lot of casualties in on Gentlefox. He got a lot of casualties in there. He killed several units. Pioneers. Didn't get in the Grenadiers, but certainly got several of the support weapons, the machine guns, the mortar, the pack. Of course, in this case, if Gentlefox has the advantage, he still has the half-track, allowing to immediately recruit and reinforce all the elements at the front line. So in that regard, I mean, Gentlefox, to an extent, still won this engagement because Spanky, while he did some damage, wasn't actually able to gain a single inch of ground, and Gentlefox was able to accrue most of the damages. I mean, this worked out for him because Spanky also suffered losses. So this was a tactical victory there for Gentlefox. Again, had Spanky, I think, prepared better with smoke from the mortar, had it going, and also maybe had the Major artillery a bit faster, I think it actually could pull through plus the H-rep round. But sadly, the assault wasn't, I think, quite as fully coordinated as Gentlefox's defense, and that rather, I think, caused Spanky. But it was a really great defense, and I think a lesser one would have completely crumbled on this. But again, he needed more smoke, and he needed some more elements that fully support it. But still, nice attempt there by Spanky. I mean, he still used combined arms, which is quite powerful, but he just was enough against the hull down Panzer IV, plus of course all the trenches. I mean, you know, strong defense, that's strong defense. Point there secured. Fixing, healing, reinforcing up there. Gentlefox could secure a lot more of the map here versus his opponent. He could probably push up here and stick in if he wanted to, but I don't think Gentlefox is feeling that adventurous. Though right now, one thing he probably should consider is getting up a heavy Panzer Corps and then getting out some armor as fast as possible. Now, Panther right now, I think, we're doing great versus Spanky's Pershing. In the south here, rather than pushing back, they're going to do still supported by the Lieutenant. I actually wonder, has he upgraded the Lieutenant with a second BAR? He has not. Bit of a miss there by Spanky. You should always, I think, upgrade your Lieutenant with a second weapon, and some players certainly do that and remember to do that. 35 kills there. Mortar still not recruit. He's going to hit the northern points here while troops heading to the south. Again, he's not going to attack the centre again. That would certainly be very foolhardy. We can see again Gentlefox laying down more mines. Again, there's more preparations being done here in case of another assault. Though, really, again, he should reposition that Panzer IV. Get it to a better position now. At least just further up here. Doesn't have to put it off here again. In theory, if Spanky were to go for some tank destroyers and anti-tank, it's even a pack out, so it would be an easy target, but just, so it doesn't, constantly hit into the ridge there. That's really one of the bigger problems from, again, it's just so many shots just do nothing for it, which to an extent really negates. We got artillery strike in here again from the Major. Spanky just spamming that artillery here versus Gentlefox, raining down those shells. Lieutenant here trying to flank in, not a bad idea, but quickly realises he's not going to gain much there. Not sure the rifle did secure the point there. He could also lay down some mines to further just make it hard for Gentlefox to go back. Ranks pushing forwards, mortar not recruit. And unit there wiped by the Panzer IV. 3 echelons annihilated. 20 kills for the fatherland. And that Panzer IV again has not moved a single inch in those engagements. Rather than taking further cash from the Panzer IV. And in this case it's actually working out because there's actually a gap here in the ridge. They can sort of aim pretty well without having a shot caught up in anything. And that spawn again, all of its bonuses become really great. We got 23 kills on the Panzer IV now. He's got the heavy Panzer Corps. But he can't go for neither Sturmpanzer or Panther. Again, I think Panther would be the better choice here. Spanky though really needs armor. He's got a lot of resources floating, still a lot of fuel specifically. Manpower not so much, but some tanks I think would be great for him. And again, sort of a properly executed assault here. It's going to be what's required to take out Gentlefox. Because again, it is a very strong position he's made here thanks to the trenches. And again, that does, I think, deserve some commendation there. That is some excellent defensive play by Gentlefox. Excellent defensive play. Outstanding. This is Lieutenant here, suppressed. Got the Major pushing ahead again. Another artillery strike here. He's really using it a lot though, that's great to see. It's really great to see. Oh no, he might not move in time. Ah. Close, but no cigar there for Spanky. But at 60 munitions, it's not exactly a huge loss if it just whips for him. It is not a huge loss, particularly when he's getting 42 per minute, so not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. In that regard, the Major's artillery ability is just really good. I'm surprised more American players don't actually make use of it. As it is, I think, a very solid ability. They're getting slammed by the Pershing, halfway to victory 2. He actually is going for a Sturmpanzer here. Not sure I'm a huge fan of that. Particularly Spanky goes for a lot of armor. Tank destroys it could cause him some problems. He'd better off with a Panther, but we'll see here. But we got the ace half tech here. Hardened crew. Iron Cross driver and gunner there. MD-42 in the trench gun is occupying here. Pioneer's manning the fort trench. We've got a trench being dug in here. He's basically extending the Fox line here. The Fuchslinie versus the enemy. Sturmpanzer out here for Gentlefox. Mortar fine recruit by for Spanky, but he's not moving it. He's not moving it. That's not good. Mortar wiped. Could have bucked out, I suppose. That does happen occasionally with the American mortar. any mortars really, but it seems like more likely just forgotten it. This is a bit of a waste there. Grabbing out there, there, good, taking fire from the trenches and from the Sturmpanzer. And pinback machine being added to that one as well. Grenade off, Grenadiers easily dodge that. 141 versus 3 control, but overall Gentlefox now has a much stronger position than was in the early game here versus Spanky. Grabbing the northern victory point, we also got a lot of mines being cleared out. This is Gentlefox doing a nice job mining. They could consider a machine gun bunker here, or on the centre. You could also consider some more advancement in the south here versus Spanky, who's going there for the Sherman tank. M4A3. Another one to replace the one lost, I imagine. Right, more armour here for the 1st Armour Division versus the 3rd Panzer Grenadiers. Grenadiers here pushing back the re-echelons, going back to the northern point. Rangers rifle moving in there. Pioneers going the northern victory point. We got the jump under the shooting, getting a kill there with his 150mm gun. And Rangers in exchange for some of the remaining S mines that his reactions did not manage to clear out. Pershing there closing in on Veteran G2. Sherman sitting out. And goes on the fire there from the Pershing, close to being wiped out. They need to be careful there, Gentlefox. Still so many trenches. He only extended the trench line a bit further north of the ridge. And he's also finally moved the Panzer IV. Good lord. He's actually repositioned it. Now that's really dangerous for Spanky. Now it might actually hit more. Yeah, I can finally see my targets better. Yeah. Finally. 7 point there secured. 300 points left. 300 points left. Bunker up there. So again, we can see Gentlefox, unlike Spanky, again, you know, when you act out in the defense, again, does a lot more work. Again, bunkers, trenches. Then there's a pack for the feet, hold down tanks, mines. Spain could have done all of those things and could have made it a lot harder for Gentlefox to get back onto the map, but he didn't. So there's a big difference there between the two. Another Sherman there for Spanky seems really setting up for a big assault. But of course, the more he waits, the more time Gentlefox has to further strengthen his defences, get more time. There's just no real harassment or pressing even lightly there versus Gentlefox. That way make it harder for him to make just easy defensive preparations. They're shooting up north here straight into the machine gun bunker. You could easily build a lot more trench or bunkers if you wanted to. You could have one here, you could have one here, one there, one here. I mean, there's a lot of position for bunkers you could do. You could easily have some here. Getting to push forward to his German rifle and Rangers hang back here around another trench system. In there, pack 40 nearby. Getting the bunker, we got the pack 40 ready to engage as well in return. Need to pull back the Sherman, second Sherman the rifle one. Smoke screen down there when there's. Guessing that's another misclick from Spanky. Showing down south there. Good Spanky setting up for another big assault which is in the south. You've got Riflemen versus Grenadiers. Taking losses to try to get into the trenches. And there you go, Grenadiers send running. And there's some running. Sherman opening up there as well. 50 caliber almost done. Fixing up the other one. Storm punching northwards. So I'll be setting up for something big here. So it looks like something big being set up. reconnaissance again. There's preparation there. And now he goes in. Pershing spearheading. No smoke. No. The smoke's going down now, but a bit too late, I feel. Straight for the Panzer Force. Sherman hits the mine. Pack 4 takes a direct hit there. More machine gun bank being ducked down. No 8-trap rounds. No combined arms. This time around, we got another Sherman tank through in the rear. Needs to hit all the vital elements. Shooting instead at stuff that doesn't matter. He should be focusing down the Panzer 4 again. Its high rate of fire is really something that should make a priority. There you go. Pershing goes down. Pershing goes down. Sherman's just shooting at everything else but the Panzer 4. He's about to lose. There you go. Shot bounced. Shot bounced. There you go. Panzer 4 gets it. 27 kills. Almost virtually free there. Misses the Sherman. Then it is moving up. Gonna be a bit too late. Gonna be a bit too late. Ultimately, the Panzer 4 does go down. Gets the half-track as well. Gets the half-track as well. Panzerfaust on the engine block. Another Panther 4 for Gentlefox. Not a Panther at this stage. Kind of figured he'd go for a Panther when he easily has the resources for it. Sherman needs to get away there. And he's really doing a lot of damage to Gentlefox. The problem is also just suffering a lot there. He's going for a replacement Pershing. Still not between the Sherman here. Pershing rolling ahead. Panther was done again. He's also just go for a Panther. You know, a bit surprised about Gentlefox. I'll let Panther 4 there running for him. Taking hits there. He's rushing straight ahead. Oh, he's going to head straight into the mine. The other mine. And there you go. Damaging to the pack. Pershing right in front of the pack 40. Right behind the Sturmpanzer, which takes a direct hit on the rear there against it. Panther 4 clearing up. The Sherman here in the south. Pack 4 recruit by Pioneers. Main gun destroyed by the Sturmpanzer. Sherman down. Oh dear, complete disaster, and thus ultimately Spanky is broken upon the Fox line. Gentlefox's defences proved to be superior compared to Spanky's assault. Some brutal fighting going between two players against Spanky. A great start, but then not knowing what to do with it. He floundered a bit, gave Gentlefox time to get back, and then Gentlefox showed you how to actually defend territory with trenches, mines, bunkers, whatnot. Slowly bleeding out. Spanky made some good attacks, but the problem is they're always lacking some certain elements. Thus, they're never quite able to break the defences properly. Thus, allowing Gentlefox to through here. So, some really great play here from both players on Westwall. An absolutely outstanding fight there. So, I hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you gained some ideas, some strategies, some tactics for your own matches. If you did, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. This is Imperial Lane signing off. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.